All right, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the daily broadcast coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. Brought to you tonight, the good people at Domino's Pizza. Monday Night Football, 2 games. You ought to get 2 pizzas. Get the app, save a whole lot. Also by Premier Sportsplex. The game is on multiple locations around West Texas, around Lubbock. And if you have too much Domino's Pizza, then you go to Premier Sportsplex. You work it off. They got great after-school programs. Check them out. If you're hanging out with us tonight, on Twitter, the old X, you know what to do. What do you do? Well, use the United Supermarkets text line so we get your comments in. It's not hard. It's pretty easy to do. 806-772-0197. It's there on your screen. And a lot of the apparel we wear right here in Raiderland, it comes to you from Boot City, 1 money, 7 mile outside the West Loop. They got a lot of great Christmas ideas out there for you. Jackets. They got jackets. Yeah, jackets. Need jackets. It's going to get cold this week. Like actual winter cold is going to come into West Texas, So why not head over there to Boot City? All right, so get on the text line, 806-772-0197. Those of you watching on Facebook, let's see, scroll back up. Hey, James. Hi, Chris, Lonnie. James giving the thumbs up. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Thumbs up, hearts, whatever it is. All right, simultaneous sip. Some bad product placement right there. That's much better. All right, so we got a few folks in. We're going to get to it tonight. A lot of Texas Tech football, NIL, Tahj Brooks. We got Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs ascending to the throne of the New England Patriots as we hate you because you are the Kansas City Chiefs. Ready to do this? In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. As we said in the Arctic Air Studios, later on this week, if your air is too Arctic, you need to call the bear. CallTheBear.com. Have it on your phone, logged in, website, all that good stuff. Also brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Please get the app. Get the app. Get the app. Then save a lot of money on your pizza. It's Monday Night Football. It's pizza night. And, of course, our friends at Premier Sportsplex. I want to say great after-school programs. If you got youngins and, hey, you got an hour or so, you need to check out what they do at Premier Sportsplex. All right. It's helmet sticker night. Anyone and everyone who deserves a little recognition in your world, in Raiderland, who deserves that, sports or otherwise, you give them the helmet stickers. We're going to talk about Tahj Brooks giving Tech an early Christmas gift that we did not see coming. And then Patrick Mahomes, the Teflon is wearing off Patrick Mahomes. It's wearing off the Chiefs. The Wolves were out last night after they lost. Not because they lost, but because they whined about it. And you know what? They probably deserve it. Helmet sticker says, Chris, to Tech's NIL program, the Matador Club and others. Yeah. All right, so we'll get it rolling. You guys get your comments in on the United Supermarkets text line, 806-772-0197. Wherever you may be, that'll roll in just like the old radio show. That's why we do that, because if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, we funnel it in. It's hard to keep everything else. Helmet sticker to Jared's wife for the great meal this evening and for keeping our family going. Helmet sticker right off the bat. Off there. Helmet sticker to my wife, mashed potatoes tonight. I wasn't the only thing, but I could just eat the mashed potatoes. They're that good. So you get a stunner today in a good way that Texas Tech fans hardly ever get. And Tahj Brooks announces that he's coming back, not just for the bowl game, but to play next year. Let's put aside for a moment my thoughts on whether that's a good idea, bad idea, whether I would advise that or otherwise. Let's put that aside. It's a great thing for Texas Tech. It's a great thing for Texas Tech football. And it probably doesn't happen if you don't have NIL. Even in the current landscape of the NFL that devalues running backs. And I think it's safe to say that, and I don't know that, I'm not sure who, I think it might have been Zach Kittley saying that the pre-draft evaluations maybe didn't come back the way he wanted it. But even before, go back 5-10 years ago when they valued running backs, you're still getting a lot of money. The gap is now closed on what NIL can do to cover that and give a player a reason to return. We've seen it in college basketball the last couple of years. Timmy goes back to Gonzaga because he can make more on NIL playing at Gonzaga playing college basketball than on a bad rookie contract in the NFL. Now, I don't know what Tahj Brooks is going to get to play football for Texas Tech next year. I have a feeling he's going to get more than any player has ever gotten NIL, which means that's going to be north of $1 million to play football for Texas Tech next year, which is why I say if you hate NIL, if you hate the transfer portal, if you hate all the things in college football, then don't root for Tahj Brooks next year. Don't root for Tech football. That if you're one of those, I hate NIL, it's ruining the game, then shut your mouth and walk on down the road, because the reason you have Tahj Brooks coming back next year is because of NIL. Bottom line, Chris talking about Caitlin Clark making more money at Iowa than the WNBA. I'll make more money doing this show than people in the WNBA. That's not a great endorsement, really. I started without you, Michael, but you can catch up. Helmet sticker to the Lady Raiders. Hosting public schools this Wednesday. Oh, God, it's that game. I hated that game calling it. Somebody said it explains why Cameron Valdez entered the transfer portal. I think he probably would have been gone otherwise. I think he probably would have gone otherwise. They had made it patently clear as the year went on. They didn't want to put him on the field for a lot of different reasons. Texter on the United Supermarkets text line, where this weekend, marinated pork tenderloins, $6 a pop. I bought 2. We're having them tonight. They're fantastic. Pay attention to the ad specials. Pay attention to what's going on at your local United. Will Tech have an improved offensive line next year? Hell, I don't know. I thought they were going to be better this year, Texter. I was told they were going to be better. I assumed that a year in they would be better. They weren't. So unless they get better offensive linemen and coach them better, then they won't be better. Now, if they get better offensive linemen and they coach them better and they play better, they'll be a better offensive line. But for me to sit here on December 11th and tell you that it's going to be a better offensive line, I can't do that. Lonnie says helmet sticker to Armando. I just went by too quick. I couldn't read it. Does Brooks coming back potentially get Kitley off the OC hot seat as long as Brooks gets the rock 20 times? No. He's on the hot seat now. He'll be on the hot seat. If you are a coordinator, you're on the hot seat every year. Coordinators, you know how long their contracts are? Ewan, Bueller, 2 years. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator is always on the hot seat. He'll never not be on the hot seat. And if he's not on the hot seat, that means he's looking to go somewhere else. He wants to be a head coach, so one way or the other. So, yeah, no, it doesn't fundamentally change the relationship that you have with your offensive coordinator. And I don't got to give him the ball 20 times. There is a mythology around football that has occurred over the last several years that there's some magical number on the number of times a running back gets the ball, or I throw to a receiver, or I do this. And now that over the last 20 years or something, we call it touches. How many touches does a player get? It's not the number of touches, it's the number of productive touches a player gets. It's the number of productive handoffs. Down, distance, situation. What do I do with it? It's productivity. There's no magic number on any of that. But we do that because the media falls in love with saying things, because it's easy for me to understand. Well, they gave him the ball 20 times. That's good coaching. No, maybe it was better to give it to him 15 times, throw it to him 3 times on a screen pass, and then the 2 other times we could have run play action to the tight end, and that's 2 touches the tight end didn't get that we gave the ball to the running back 2 times, and he got 3 yards. The tight end was open for 15 to 20 yards downfield because the safeties had rolled up. We had virtually no second level of the defense. We went from first level to third level. We didn't do that because we had to give the ball to the running back a magical 20 times. Let's take it back to simpler times, says Michael. I'm doing what I can. Ryan, I like NIL and the portal, but would prefer some limits on how many times a guy can transfer. Why? What does it matter? In all honesty, what does it matter to you? Doesn't at all. Old coaches will tell you there are a lot of players they wish they could get rid of, but they were stuck with them. And it killed your roster, and it killed your ability to get better. And it poisoned your locker room. If they want to go, let them go. Bring somebody in. Why do you give a damn if a guy transfers so easily? Have you ever left a job, Ryan? Probably not. Maybe you have. I don't know. You should only be able to leave your job once every 5 years. And if you get stuck somewhere, I'm sorry. You just need to tough it out. You and your family just suck on it, Ryan. Tell us about the transfer punter from Weber State. Don't know much about him other than he kicks the ball a long ways. He's a punter. He wore a cowboy hat in his picture. Is running back class this year for the NFL draft strong? No. The NFL doesn't value running backs. And that's why if you get like not a bad draft grade, but if you're not like first round, you're not going to get much. And it's a horrible time to be a running back. It's a horrible time to be Tahj Brooks and be a running back trying to go to the NFL. It has nothing to do with draft classes. It has everything to do with the position he plays. Again, 10, 15, 20 years ago, he's absolutely coming out. Third, fourth, fifth round, doesn't matter. Even go back to, I don't know, 10 years ago. I'm trying to think of running backs out of the 10-year class. I'm not going to be able to pull it out of my, what. But it's not the class. It's the position. The position is not valued now by the NFL. Therefore, ergo, e.g., you don't get much. But does Emmitt Smith go to the Cowboys if there's an NIL when he played? He comes out as a junior, probably because he's still going to be a huge high draft pick. And NIL wouldn't have been able to compensate for what they were playing running backs. Again, we go back to a different time. Mark Ingram examples. LaDainian Tomlinson, Mark Ingram. So again, it's not so much where you drafted, it's just the value of the position, the way the NFL looks at it now. You are the most expendable, used up commodity in the NFL. You're going to get a more or less a crappy second deal unless you're incredibly, incredibly super good. And even those are going away. Only Jerry Jones in the last few years has been paying off on one of those things. So sucks to be a running back. Don't be a running back. If you got a young kid who's really good and he's a running back, teach him how to catch the ball. Teach him how to be a receiver or a slot back, something, anything. Hey, Saquon is probably the last running back that'll be drafted as high as he was. And the Giants, still even overpaid second contract, I think, on Barkley. You see what it's getting them. Glad you're with us tonight. Domino's Pizza, one of our sponsors, as we hang out in the Arctic Air Studios. Glad you are with us here in Raiderland. Want you guys to speak kindly of our wonderful sponsors. If you're on Twitter watching us live on YouTube, use the United Supermarkets text line 806-772-0197. We're talking about Tahj Brooks and coming back, an early Christmas present for Texas Tech. He will have a chance. What's he got to get? 1,600. Dang it, I wrote it down. Now I can't find where I wrote it down. I do that all the time. On what he's got to get, I think 1,600 yards to be the all-time leading rusher at Texas Tech. That's going to be hard to do. But would that not be just one of the most amazing things that as we come out of the air raid era, that a guy has a chance to be the all-time leading rusher at Texas Tech. We also ask you tonight about the Kansas City Chiefs. The Teflon is gone from Patrick Mahomes, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually kind of a compliment that he is now, he'd been in the and is in the Tom Brady realm of nothing is ever his fault. And Tom Brady went through that, and then after a while, they looked for reasons to savage Brady because they were sick of him being good. That's where the Chiefs are right now. Now, the whining about the call last night, not so good. And anybody who's trying to say, well, he's probably just trying to deflect it away from his player and just doing it. No, he's mad at the refs because he thought he got hosed on a call. His right tackle was in the backfield by 10 yards. So here we are. We're watching it, the script flip on Mahomes now. And now the haters are really going to come out. And that's what happens when you're good for a long time. And they've been good for a long time in the NFL. Now the Teflon is gone. They're going to start talking about his overthrows. He makes them. They're going to start talking about his bad interceptions, Green Bay game. So it's really a compliment that you reach a point where they get sick of you being great. And that's where they are right now. I'd like to know where the Happy Santa would be drafted if he was playing today, and what would the NIL deal look like? Well, I mean, I'm not paying Happy Santa anything. He's here because he's happy. I think Happy Santa, if you're drafted, probably as a quality control coach, making sure everything gets delivered in the proper ways. So it'd be more of a front office position than anything else. We got that. Go up there. Hey, Joe, glad you're watching. I think within reason, inside the linebacker in the NFL are expendable, like running backs to an extent. Michelle, hi there. Jamie, glad you're watching. And you guys can use the United Supermarkets text line to get in tonight in the time we have, 806-772-0197. Mondays, we hand out helmet stickers. Anyone and everyone deserving a little recognition for being awesome, great, or otherwise. We want to make helmet stickers great again. Go to the website, theraiderland.com. You'll see a picture. That game photograph of the Texas Tech player is Jim Hart. He started off as a defensive back safety, and he succeeded Ron Reeves as quarterback. And his helmet in 1982, I think it's 82 that picture is from. So 80, 81, 83 is glorious in its helmet stickers. Texas Tech went through a phase there with helmet stickers that they didn't know quite what to do. So in the early 80s, Texas Tech absolutely sucked. So what they did is they made the helmet stickers even bigger than like Ohio State's Bucknuts. So it's a white sticker with the Mask Rider, the Double T and Mask Rider logo on a big white circle sticker, and it took up about half the helmet. So like you got half a tackle, boom, you get a sticker. And Jerry Moore was handing these things out, trying, to make it look like Tech was doing something. And you're sitting there watching a 2-win, 3-win team going, how the hell did they get stickers? Well, they're really big stickers. And I would give anything. This is the Gabe Rivera era, the end of it and everything else. A friend of mine has one of his helmets with the stickers on it. I'm like, damn, I would give anything to have those. Expectations for the Independence Bowl? I have none. I have no expectations, Gary. They'll play a game. Tech will be there. Cal will be there. Tahj Brooks is going to play. Morton is going to be healthy, they say. That's what they tell me. Some guys will be there. Some guys won't be. I have zero expectations. Unless you are in the playoff anymore, I really don't care about the bowl game. It's better to win it than lose it if you're playing. If you lose it, everybody says nobody cares. If you win it, then the other team says we didn't play hard. I don't care. Much more focused on Texas Tech basketball that day against Vanderbilt. Much more focused on Lady Raiders. Yay, bowl game. Yeah, neat. Don't care. And then there are the people who say, how can you not care? It's real easy. I don't care. Just It's not a real game. It's an exhibition game. You know, total exhibition game. So for the Tech fans, if Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City are whining like they did last night after the game, and it's not Patrick Mahomes from Texas Tech, but it's Jalen Hurts, it's somebody else, it's Aaron Rodgers, I know what you guys would be doing on social media. I know how you'd be reacting. The Teflon's coming off Mahomes and the Chiefs just a little bit. And a lot of Tech fans today were trying to make excuses and different things. I know how you guys would be reacting if it were another quarterback. And it's okay. He's your guy. I mean, I got nothing against Patrick Mahomes. But, yeah. And him say, we want the players to decide it. Your receiver did. He was lined up as a linebacker. They'll just give teams extra time to practice. Not this year. You basically got 6 practices. Lonnie, it doesn't matter. I mean, the whole practice thing this year, I mean, they and the whole bowl experience, they're leaving on Wednesday to go play on Saturday. Woo! Yay, bowl experience. All sports fans are hypocrites. Me included, says Ryan. Absolutely. At least you know who you are. And yes, all sports fans are, for the most part, hypocrites. 100%. Yeah, if it's anybody other than Patrick Mahomes, a lot of Tech fans are ripping them for saying the statements that they made, you know. Don't they cut the number? Didn't know they cut the number of practice. It's, dude, they're playing Saturday. They had finals. There's only a couple of practices. It's not like you're playing a game after Christmas. It's not like you're playing a game. I mean, they didn't cut the number of practice. There aren't that many practices. When you play in a crappy bowl game, it's not like they say, oh, you can keep practicing after the bowl game. No. You had a little bit of time in between end of the season. You had finals. You had all that stuff going on. Then you have a game week that's compressed because of travel midweek, because you got to go early to go see the sick kids. I mean, that's why bowl games exist anymore, right? Go see the sick kids. Okay. All right. We saw the sick kids. There you go. James agree on KC. They be one and done in the playoffs. Could be. They're still good. They're still very good. But, and I mean, I look around the AFC and going, okay, well, who else are you going to go? And then we get to Baltimore and go, do we trust them? Do we trust Baltimore? We'll see. I don't completely trust Baltimore. Although Christmas Day game, Baltimore and San Francisco's got a chance to be, I hope it's one of the best games we've seen in a while. I hope the game lives up to what it could be, because that game with Baltimore and San Francisco could be absolutely fantastic, and could be righteous uniform game as well. Really could. Yeah, not saying that Kansas City's done by Easter, not at all. They're still one of the best teams. It's just if it's any other team, if it's not Patrick Mahomes, it's another quarterback. A lot of Texas Tech fans are ripping the quarterback who's making the statements, and Andy Reid and everybody else. Your players did decide it. You screwed up. Well, they should have called offsides a couple of players earlier. That's what he was mad about. That's fine. He can be mad about that all he wants to. The AFC is deep, 11 teams over 500. That's not deep. That's mediocrity, Ryan. That's everybody's in the middle. That's not, well, I guess it's deep. It's not deep in good teams. It's just deep in teams that have about the same records. They can still win it, having to go on the road. Other teams not proven in postseason. Yeah. Baltimore has the perfect uniforms for dreary cold weather games. Yes, they do, David. Whether it's that all purple or the purple and the black, or just the desultory look of that old gold. And really, let's get down to it. The raven on the helmet even looks sad and tired. It really does. Just a sad and tired bird. I miss the original Baltimore Ravens deal, which looked like from the Flintstones, the Royal Order of the Water Buffalo Club. If you remember, it's kind of it just looked like the Water Buffalo Club hat that the Flintstones used to wear, and got rid of that for some reason. I don't know. Looked good. All right, Lori, glad you're watching. So a couple more minutes tonight. If you hate NIL, then you can't root for Tahj Brooks, and you can't root for Texas Tech anymore. Bottom line, you can't do it. If you hate NIL and you think it's ruined college football, NIL is why Tahj Brooks is back, at least in your uniform, not somebody else's. So you can't do it. Don't do it anymore. Sad and tired bird, my nickname in high school. It's not. Sometimes we overshare. Edgar Allan Poe Raven. So of course it's sad and tired. Hey, Chris, quote the Raven nevermore. Right? Let's quit quoting the Raven. I need to wrap this up because I've got mashed potatoes in there that are really good. Really, really good. What are we missing tonight? Anything? I mean, helmet stickers, you can do that. You can put that on the website, theraiderland.com. Tuesday's best tomorrow. Also, best thing ever ate. We might go Christmas theme on that. See what else we got. Basketball, yeah. Be able to talk basketball tomorrow. Collier, you got anything? What are you guys doing on the TV front? Anything I need to be aware of? You want to do a sad promo? Sad and tired promo coming up at 10 o'clock. Tonight at 10. Not that I can watch it. How long has this got to go on? Speaking of sad and tired. Holding me hostage on my direct TV. What do we got to do? You know, sad and tired after Monday Night Football. Years and 100 years ago, I this is going back to when I was at Tech. I was dating a girl. She was a producer at KMAC, and yeah, Monday nights, long night, waiting. You done yet? No, game's going. Okay, all right. We'll be at Lone Star Oyster Bar. Show up when you show up. Hope it's over. All right, we got to say goodbye. First off, to people on Twitter X and on. Oh, we got somebody sending in stuff on Twitter that shows up there. Will we have an improved offensive line? Okay, that was earlier again. There you go. Yeah, you got to send that on the text line. United 806-772-0197. YouTube TV better than satellite, said James. All right, so in stream, yeah, we got to end the stream, and boom, we do that in the stream.